Hi, my name is Herminio Ortiz, and this is my PowerPoint on implementing ergonomics. Things to go over in this presentation is what are ergonomics and human factors, how to implement ergonomics in any design, effects because of poor ergonomics, conditions connected to poor ergonomics, and the ergonomics used today. And we'll be going over the summary at the very end. What are ergonomics and human factors? It's a science of designing and or arranging a place or thing so that they fit the people who use them. To make sure everything's used in the most human natural positioning. Human factors are always a topic of concern with fatigue, poor workmanship, and injury in any industry. It's frowned upon to have an employee just be disgruntled because of something like that. And with ergonomics and human factors, it's minimizing error in the human interface in all industries. How to implement ergonomics in any design. In a design, you have this. It's going to be used by the human, and you have to study the article and how it works with the human anatomy. There's different criterias per all the different characteristics that a human might have. So you have to seek with the you have to, for within that you have to seek for the possible injuries that may be short or long term by using it. In defined ways, it may work or be adjusted for all genders, heights, and any deviating characteristics among humans. In the picture here, you see the person from height to short, which always changes depending on what the work needs to be performed. The effects of poor ergonomics. These are four common injuries or disorders that are named by doctors: the repetitive stress injuries, repetitive motion injuries, musculoskeletal disorders, and cumulative trauma injuries, which include like just soreness, carpal tunnel, and more than anything, these injuries happen within offices where there's not much movement and the using a keyboard. That's why most of the injuries are found in offices. With these injuries, there's going to be a lot of dull, aching, sharp, and stabbing or burning sensation pain, where whatever body part is being used the most. Tingling, numbness, swelling, inflammation, stiffness anywhere in the body, muscle weakness and discomfort, tightness, cramping, or discomfort, and decreased range of motion or discomfort when making certain movements. Depending on what you're doing, the body's typically in a certain position where it just limits. That's why there's a lot of common practices, the 20-20-20 rule, where for every 20 minutes that you're looking at a computer, stare 20 seconds at an object that is 20 feet away, just to relax the eyes. For something like an office, it's really hard to adjust to be able to minimize this fatigue. Objects connected to poor ergonomics. More than anything, like I've said before, it's office seating or visual. So it could be like the desk, the chair, the lighting. In the aviation industry, most of it is hard to reach areas. So there's always an awkward body angle that needs to be performed to be able to do a certain task, and that task could take multiple hours. There's a lot of vibrating tools such as a rivet gun with um, the really repetitive motion. It's not natural for the bones for that much work to be done, and then repetitive motions in a production line or just back and forth movements that are just not fit to work best with the human body. And then at home, poor ergonomics can also happen at home, where you're standing in the kitchen for too long, in the garage for too long, and then using uncomfortable tools. There's tools that are being made with handles that are much better to be able to perform better. There's in handles anything that may require a lot of effort to open something. Ergonomics used today. Chairs would always have room for improvement. Every person is different, so it's always best to try out different chairs. Um, and aside from any industry, there's also cars for long rides. So ergonomics is used inside of cars for more comfort, for to set the angle to seat, to to set the eyes and the body in the most relaxed position for the long hours of driving. And then just for the easy reach, it's always better to have things at an easy reach. A lot of touchscreens are made available for this, to have less buttons, anything to help with the body. Some other ones that are used today is personal PPE to prevent the body from wearing and tearing. Here in the picture, you see the gloves that help put pressure on the hands. That way, the muscle is more relaxed in and preventing any carpal tunnel to happen. And then tools that receive any harsh impact. There's gloves. There's the actual tools. There's some tools out there in the sense of the rivet guns that receive the full impact. The way there's no harsh impact done to the hand itself. So in summary, human factors is connected to explaining how humans always have the risk of error of an industry. Fatigue is a trait that describes the negative effects on the human factors definition. Poor ergonomics of a key trait most often leads to fatigue, sometimes unavoidable. Sometimes it's unavoidable since ergonomics is a physical change that could be made to prevent fatigue. Small changes or a purchase of office equipment can make all the difference. Doing nothing will more result in anything to do with these four: repetitive stress injuries, repetitive motion injuries, musculoskeletal disorders, and cumulative trauma injuries. Ergonomics equipment could be implemented in any industry, home, for personal use, for work use. It's always what fits you as a person, your state of mind, and your physical attributes of your body. Here's my resources. Thank you very much.